Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Let's Talk Comics, and today I'm giving you my top 5 favorite superheroes. So let's just jump right into it. My number 5 favorite superhero is Green Lantern. Now I know some of you fanboys are yelling at me saying there's more than one Green Lantern. I know, you don't have to tell me. And that's why my number 5 favorite superhero is Kyle Rayner, to be more specific. For those of you who don't know, Kyle Rayner made his first appearance in Green Lantern Volume 3, Issue 48 in 1994 as part of the Emerald Twilight storyline. Now, I'm not going to give you a full detail on him. If you guys want to see a history of Kyle Rayner or any of the other characters to talk about today, comment down below and I can do a history of episode. But I'm just here to tell you why they're my favorite. So Kyle Rayner, I love him because he's just basically a god. He's the first guy to ever wield all 7 power rings and become the real, true, what I think in my heart, the one official White Lantern. Obviously there have been other White Lanterns if you read Brightest Day storyline and stuff like that, but I think he's the one, the true one. If you guys haven't read the Green Lantern storyline by Geoff Johns as part of the New 52, they talk about what happens to Kyle Rayner in the future and what he goes on to do, and I think he's just, not only has he done great things, he goes on to do great things that make him arguably the best Green Lantern of all time. And that's coming from a Hal Jordan fan myself. Number 4 is Peter Parker. I'm going to let you guys know right now, this is the only Marvel character in my actual top 5. Don't judge me, I'm just a bit of a DC fanboy. It's not that I don't like Marvel, it's just that when it comes to my favorites, DC took over the list. I didn't mean for it to happen, it just sort of did. Now, if I were to say why he's my favorite, I think it just simply comes down to this. Spider-Man was the superhero of my childhood. I mean, I'm a 90s baby, I was born in 92. If you guys didn't watch the Spider-Man cartoons, I don't know what you were doing with your life. If it wasn't Spider-Man, it was X-Men, but I was more of a Spider-Man fan myself, so that's kind of where that came from. Seeing Peter Parker go through all these different changes and how he grows from a little kid who gets these powers into this great, awesome, underrated, powerful superhero is incredible. If you guys don't know how powerful he is, you should definitely read the Civil War storyline. He has a huge part in it, and you see what his true value is as a superhero. Or I guess you could just stick around and wait for the movie that comes out in like a year. And as much as it was the cartoon growing up in the 90s that made me fall in love with him, it was also the Tobey Maguire movies. Not to put too much emphasis on the movies versus the comic books, but I mean, growing up, Tobey Maguire, that was the first really good superhero movie. I mean, there was the Batman movies that came out before, but those kind of fell off, and then, you know, there were some other live-action superhero movies, but I think those Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2 were the first really good, like, Oscar category type superhero movies, and that had a huge influence on me and my childhood and falling in love with comic books. I think that all kind of goes back to Spider-Man. Number 3, Nightwing. If you guys don't know who Nightwing is, he was the first Robin, Dick Grayson. He's a fantastic superhero, was a great sidekick to Batman, grew up as part of the Flying Graysons until unfortunately that whole mess happened, and then Bruce Wayne took him under his wing. Batwing, Nightwing, get it? I'm funny. Then he eventually grew up, moved on, and do his own thing in Bloodhaven and became his own substantial superhero on his own. He started the Teen Titans and ran that team for a very long time. If you're looking for something to read, actually, it's not so much Nightwing as it is Dick Grayson. It's the Grayson storyline as part of DC's new releases that they've been putting out recently. And as far as what gets him into my top 3, is that he was basically a younger, cooler, hipper version of Batman. Number 2, or 11. We'll call it 2. 11, 2. 2. You know what I'm saying. It's the Batman. And I don't care what you say, I do a kick-ass Batman impression. The Batman. Now obviously, without question, Batman is the greatest hero ever. And he's still at my number 2 on the list, so I think you guys will be really surprised with number 1. But him being the greatest hero ever, I mean, you could question Superman, you can question Iron Man, you could question some of these other guys, but I think, without a doubt, if you look at any of the top lists on the internet, Batman's numero uno. I'm not saying he's the strongest, I'm not saying he's the fastest, I'm just saying he is the greatest hero of all time. Not to freak anybody out, but obviously in a Superman-Batman fight, Superman would win 9 out of 10 times, but that doesn't mean that he's the better hero. And then plus, I mean, I got Nightwing on my list, and there would be no Nightwing without Batman. There'd be no Red Robin, there'd be no Red Hood. I mean, all these great characters that have come from the Batman and the Batman storylines all kind of lead back to him, and I think that's also what makes him great. Number 1. Alright, I'm officially a dork. Are you guys ready for who it is? It's Green Lantern. Green Lantern? What? Again? Yeah, guys, there's more than one Green Lantern. If you don't know that, Google. But yeah, my number 1 favorite superhero is Hal Jordan, if you exclude the 2009 Green Lantern film. Now growing up, I don't know what it is, he's always been one of my favorite superheroes, and the more I read, the more I love this guy. I think he's highly underrated as far as his powers go. He definitely hold his own in the battle with somebody like Superman, Martian Manhunter, Batman even. He's got the wits and abilities and the attitude to go one-on-one with any of these guys. He's also proven as he's taken over the Green Lantern Corps a numerous amount of times that he's a phenomenal leader and all-around badass. I mean, Hal Jordan's always got the cocky attitude, the hot chick on his side. Badass Jackie, he's flying planes, he's in space, he's back on Earth, he's with the Justice League, he's back with the Lanterns, he's taking over Corps, he's killing all of his friends and family, and then he goes back to try and reconcile with everybody. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I suggest reading into Green Lantern Parallax. I think what gives him some of the favoritism over some of the other Green Lanterns and other heroes on this list is that he was the first Green Lantern I knew about, and I fell in love with the idea of the Green Lanterns right away. Now, if you guys don't know this, the thing I love about Green Lanterns is that they are chosen. Some superheroes wake up, decide to become a superhero. Some superheroes are born into it, like Superman. Some superheroes get scientific accidents, like The Flash or Shazam and things like that. All these different situations of where you get your powers from. Whereas Green Lantern are chosen. They're chosen by the Guardians based on how much willpower they have as a person. Now, this doesn't mean that you're the best person, because we all know Hal Jordan can be a bit of a douchebag. But like I said, I fell in love with the idea of the Green Lanterns, and Hal Jordan was the first Green Lantern I ever heard about. Now, if you guys have anything to argue with about me with this, just comment down below. I have a lot to defend with me on the side of Hal Jordan, so I'd like to hear some of your arguments. But yeah, guys, that's my top 5. Quick recap, we had Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Nightwing, Dick Grayson, Batman, Bruce Wayne, and Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. And real quick, I'd like to throw in a quick honorable mention. Not only is he one of my favorite superheroes, I think he's by far the most underrated superhero, and that is Moon Knight. He's sort of my sixth man in this whole thing. If you guys haven't read anything about Moon Knight, I suggest picking this up. You can get it at your local library or comic book store. It's a phenomenal read. He's a phenomenal hero. He's actually kind of crazy, and that's what I love about him. But yeah, guys, I'd love to know what your top 5 favorite superheroes are. Comment down below your top 5 list, and then stick around next week as we'll get into Kyle's top 5. And I think a couple of weeks after that, we're going to start doing our top 5 favorite supervillains. So that's some stuff to look forward to. We'd love to see you guys' faces. Thank you for watching. Let's talk comics.